Ella and I have officially made it to the Airbnb we're going to be staying at for like the next 5 days. Now, unfortunately, when we landed, our bags got delayed, so we don't have like most of our stuff. But luckily, it's going to get delivered tomorrow. What sucks though is both of our gym equipments were like in our respective checked bags, so we're not going to have that for tonight's session. Today's Ella's last squat bench session before she competes on Friday. I have one more, but just 4 sets of bench. But I guess tonight I'm just gonna have to do beltless deads. Not much we can do about it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then yeah, besides that, 5-hour flight wasn't too bad. Turbulence was pretty scary though. But yeah, here's the place. So this is the kitchen. 1 bedroom, 1 restroom, and Ella watching TV in the living room. Okay, now we're going upstairs. We got bedroom, big bedroom where Ella and I are staying, and then another bedroom. And then we're gonna be here with 2 of our other teammates, and Morgan gets here tomorrow. So yeah, besides that, the Airbnb is a little sketch. Like it is nice inside, but when Ella got it, she saw it. It was like the cheapest one, but she didn't see that there were no reviews, and that pretty much after we got all the days after we got have been blocked out. So hopefully we survive to compete. But yeah. How you feeling, Ella?
Like, it's really, when we busy, yeah. I'm sweating.
Those are all the people weighing in. Ella's eating up. Ella, how much did you weigh in at?
26.3, which is like 146 or something.
Hopefully, yeah, she weighed in like a whole kilo under, so she's fine. She's eating up. It is 6:24 a.m. She's gonna start lifting at 8 a.m. So bright and early. But the venue's pretty big. It's pretty nice. Luckily, the equipment check, registration, and weigh-ins are all right next to each other. And then I'll show you guys the venue later when I go in for Ella's meet as a spectator. What else? Oh yeah, and then the venue, it's the Georgia International Convention Center, which I think is a little bit smaller than the Memphis one, but it's still pretty awesome. So yeah. I also forgot to mention we're waiting on Morgan. Morgan's gonna show up around in like an hour, so at 7 a.m. I'll introduce you guys to him.
Can we get one more?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chick-fil-A, baby. That's what we're here for. Morgan, how you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous?
Great.
The fuck you nervous for?
You don't understand how nerve-wracking it was watching your squat.
Guys, I'm not done last, and that's all that matters.
So real quick, we got Chick-fil-A, and we got a bunch of other vendors over here.
There's a healthy stand.
Yeah, there is a healthy stand.
Yeah. Sit down or
This is Morgan Aquino, coach, legend, 67,
66.
66 national.
66 now.
Yeah, 66 national competitor / 2022 champ. Ella, how's your tummy feeling?
IBS 2.0.
Morgan, how's your stomach feeling?
I feel bloated. Sorry about that, Beverly.
Okay, meat day. Just weighed in, 271. I'm eating now some soy sauce and rice and downing a Pedialyte. Feeling good. My back's a little tight, but I think it'll loosen up once I move around a bit. Yesterday just took it easy. We went to the Coca-Cola factory, which is the last club, and then I just watched UFC 300 the whole night. But yeah, now we're just gonna keep eating up, change, and it's game day.
That
Two
is
athletes
true.
battling for the total record.
That likely means that 2 athletes battling for first.
All do as Gabe is the underdog here. He
Flying
needs
in
this.
from the West Coast just to show dominance on the East Coast. This is coast to coast dominance. Let's see Gabe hit this. Gabriel with that signature extreme low bar position.
He gets it up with ease.
See if he can execute this lift.
Come on, Gabe. Patient
That
off
was
the floor.
very fast, a little bit of a bubble. I don't know if the refs caught it. I don't know if the refs will red light it. Let's run down, Gabe.
Big pull.
Can he
Up,
get it up? He's
up,
looking it
lock it out,
He gets
lock
to
it
his knees and unfortunately does not hit the lift. He will remain in second place.
So, this is a week post meet. Basically, every time I compete, I just like take a week off just to recover physically and mentally from me, like give myself a break, and then just catch up on other stuff like school. I had a bunch of like, social events planned. But basically, I just wanted to come on here and recap the meet, what went right, what went wrong, and just how the meet was in general. So before I get into any specifics, I just want to congratulate all the competitors I competed against and just in general at the meet. The meet was a blast. I think it was probably the most fun meet I've been to. It was definitely the most unique because it was the first time there was kind of like a team aspect to any meet I've been to. Everybody was kind of cheering for their people. You can definitely tell that it was a team sport between like the colleges and stuff. There was a funny example is like after my last, it's not very funny, but looking back it was pretty funny. I like missed my last deadlift, for example, and like the opposing team was like rooting that I missed, and I was like, well, you know, it's kind of messed up, but you know, either way, like if it was the other way around. But anyways, in terms of meet day, so obviously it was not the result I wanted. I didn't accomplish my goal of the 900 plus kg total, and I wound up in second instead of winning the meet. But what I'm most disappointed about, and what I was really disappointed about immediately after the result, was I felt my preparation was fantastic, and on the day I felt really strong, and I felt like I was probably the strongest 125 on the day, despite me not winning. But I was not able to execute properly, which is why I was pretty bummed about it. Now I'm okay, and if anything, I learned a lot of lessons from this meet more so than any other one I've been to. So if anything, now I'm more thankful than anything. But either way, so I want to go into specifics for each event. So for squats pretty much went exactly according to plan. Now, looking back on my third attempt, I definitely had 365 kg or 800 in the tank. I don't think it's much of a stretch to say, looking at the footage and just how I felt afterwards. Like after I hit it, I was like, literally, like I re-racked. I was like, damn, I should have loaded up that 800. But I decided not to because I wanted to make sure I nailed the lift and made it undeniable for the meet, so that I don't lose a lot of ground. Now, one thing that was a little bit troublesome was with the super low bar position, it is difficult already for me to lock out, to walk out, because it's so low on my back. I'm not stacked. But more so is I forgot how long the judge makes you hold it before they give you the squat command to make sure you're not moving. And so because of that, I also had to force myself into a more upright position to get that start command. So there was a lot of pressure on my wrists and my elbows. And so I think that was also part of the reason why I want to be conservative, because it did feel uncomfortable, but then when I actually completed the rep, it flew. And so I definitely think too now, this was my first meet as a 125. I definitely now know that my squat peaks really well, because like I said, I definitely had that extra 10 kg or 20 pounds just ready to go there. In terms of bench, there's a little mishap. So in terms of all my pressing muscles, all the primary movers, I was feeling strong. The weight did feel a little heavy in my hand, but I think it's also partially because of the my wrists. After I squatted, they were a little raw. I took some ibuprofen, but I think I still could feel it. That's why I was feeling the weight more. But I nailed the opener. For my second, the problem with my second was I was not confident. That was the biggest thing I learned for bench moving forward, is I just have to be confident now with my bench, and so that I can show up. Because what I was starting to worry about the pauses, because when Ella competed during her session, I noticed she was getting really long pauses, and it started getting in my head. And so I tried tempoing the weight down in order for the ref to give me a shorter pause and make sure the bar's not moving on my chest, because they can't give the press command unless the bar's completely standstill. And because of that, once I started pressing, I just wasted a lot of energy with the eccentric, and so I just didn't have any to push off. And so when I came back, my handler was like, listen, you got to get this. So if I missed, there was no shot of me winning. So he was like, you have to get this, just don't think about it, just press. And so when I came out, I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to not drop it, but bring it down quick and press as hard as I can. And when I did it like that for my third attempt, as you guys saw, it flew. It moved like a second attempt should. So I definitely think I had another 5 to 7.5 kg in the tank on the day for bench. So that was the first little mishap, right? So squats were great, first mishap, bench, and then deadlift is where I pretty much just choked. I shit the bed. So basically, for squat, before I even got to any of my attempts, I tore you can kind of see it's kind of healed now. I tore the middle of my hand before any of my attempts. So already I was pretty worried about my grip. But then I come up, I hit my first attempt, and it was fast, and I was confident I could hit my second, which was 337.5, which was my last pull in training. And so I came up and I was confident I could hit it, and the reason they didn't give it to me was because after I locked my knees out, there was a little bit of a bobble where there was downward motion before I finished locking out the rep, which in powerlifting, it has to be one singular motion. There can't be any up or down. But when I was performing the movement, when I was performing the lift, I didn't feel that downward motion, just feel like it stalled a little bit. And then rewatching it, I saw the bobble, and I also saw that whether it was because of my technique or the ground being uneven from the previous deadlifts, the bar came up. When the bar was coming up, it shifted to the left, which is why during it I felt like, oh, the bar kind of feels like it's away from me. And so then, because of that, that's why I had to kind of catch it and finish the pull. But then after that, if I hit that lift, it would have forced the guy in first, Dante, to overreach a little bit and load 302.5, which he hasn't done, instead of 300 kg. But because I missed it, he ended up dropping it to 300, and it came out and I had to pull 347.5, which I didn't know. That's when my coach Lily was just telling me, or when my handler told me, he was just like, you have to go out there and pull it if you want to win. So I get out there, and they ended up moving the bar back just because they did see that the floor was indented, the floor was uneven, and they chose to move it back instead of forward because in front there was a lot of baby powder. They didn't want me to slip. But the problem was when I came up and I set up, the left side started rolling into my shin and it was getting out of position. And so basically I was spending the entire minute on the platform trying to fix it. And then I heard that somebody yelling that I only have 10 seconds left. So I was like, screw it, I just got to pull it. And I don't think I set up my position correctly because I was rushing so quickly. And basically after I got it past my knees, I felt my back break, and there was no shot at that point of me finishing the pull. So biggest things I learned was probably be more confident on bench, and I have to get my delt consistency down because, like I said, I came in, I felt great. I think 125 was a great fit for me. I peaked very well. I felt very strong, but it's all those little technical things and inconsistencies that if you can't nail those down, they'll come to bite you in the butt on the platform. So yeah, in terms of future plans, I'll talk about that in the next video. What I'm going to do with training, what is my next competition, all my plans with that. But just to finish off, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching these videos and who's been supporting me and following my journey this prep. I appreciate it tremendously. I have a lot of fun making these, and I hope that you guys were able to learn something useful, or at least be entertained by them. But yeah, we will be back. This is not the end. We are on to bigger and better things. Thank you.